Just 9 races remain in the 2000 NASCAR Winston Cup Series season, and for the second time this season, the Winston Cup Series drivers head to the Rockingham Speedway in Rockingham, North Carolina. This is the Pop Secret Microwave 400. It's always a crazy racetrack when we come here, an unpredictable racetrack when we come here. This one is going to be just as fun because we have 2 drivers in a fight for the championship, both starting on the outside lane, one starting inside the top 2, the other starting just outside the top 10. How are they going to play into this race, and how are the other drivers going to play into this race, looking for maybe their first wins or their second wins of their careers? This is going to be a fun one here from Rockingham. Just 9 races left in the season here on JRTV. I'm Joe Rukowski, here to bring you live flag-to-flag coverage of the Pop Secret Microwave 400. And the big story is qualifying here from Rockingham. Chris Jericho claims his 4th pole of the season, the most of anyone so far this season. But 2's outside in second, Trey Bardo with a 3rd straight front row start. Bardo starts in second here, but the last time he started second in a race was Pocono. He faded back to mid-pack, but then got back up into the top 10. Also, Jordan Edwards will start in 3rd, Luke Rennie in 4th, Riley Spriggs in 5th. Those drivers not won yet this season. What can they do? How about Brett Seaver, Matthew Burnett, Keyshawn Murchison, Eli Bright, Colin Teague? They're the front 10. What can they do? What can the man in 14th, Keegan Thompson, the points leader, do? 68 points he has over Trey Bardo, because Bardo won and dominated Watkins Glen and got max points there. Keegan Thompson finished inside the top 10, did well there, but now he's starting further back on the outside row. Bardo starts on the front row in 2nd position. What can Keegan do to try and keep that 68-point gap as big as possible? Can he try and find a way to beat Bardo in this race? We're going to find out after 79 laps here from Rockingham. 2 cars did fail post-qualifying inspection. The big one was Sebastian Kukulon, who's set to start in 2nd here today. He'll be now back in 41st, and Hunter from 33rd on the grid will now be starting in 42nd in that number 36 car. Here today at Rockingham, it is a muggy and hot August day. 88 degrees, mostly sunny skies. So these drivers are going to be getting to work on the cars because it's going to be one hot day for sure behind the wheel of these NASCAR Winston Cup Series stock cars. Also, there's not much wind here at Rockingham, only 1 mile an hour in the north direction. So not even that is going to be something that these drivers will have. Maybe if there's a yellow flag, there's not much wind out there and no chance of rain whatsoever here in Rockingham, North Carolina. Will we see a new winner is the big question. 3 of the top 5 starters not won yet this season. Also look back to Keyshawn Murchison, Eli Bright, Colin Teague. They haven't won yet. How about the smaller team of Jose Mills? What can those smaller teams do that start towards the front? And some track facts here. Rockingham Speedway located in Rockingham, North Carolina. Just over a mile in length, 1.017 miles. A very unique racetrack for sure. 22 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2. 25 degrees in turns 3 and 4, and 8 degrees on the straightaways here at Rockingham. Opened in 1965, and the first race obviously held here in 1981. The past 5 winners, a very interesting trend there. We have Adam Lewis won here in 1995, Nate Bell in 1996, Jason Sameo Jr. in 1997, Nate Bell again in 1998, and then in 1999 it was Marcus Sacchi. The last 4 second Rockingham races, so the last 4 Rockingham races that were held later in the season were won by Ford teams. Will that trend continue? We have a Ford team starting in 3rd, 4th, and 5th, along with 7th and 8th and 10th. So maybe Fords do have some sort of advantage here. The other one, obviously, all the way back in 1995, the last time a non-Ford won this race, that was a Pontiac of Adam Lewis there. 79-lap race, and the fuel window just over midway. 42 to 48 laps on a fuel tank here, but we'll see who wants to pit sooner rather than later here at Rockingham. About to get underway here in the Pop Secret Microwave 400. Let's go down to trackside to fire these cars up.
Drivers, start your engines.
Two cars strong here at the Rockingham Speedway. The Pop Secret Microwave 400. Look to the man starting in 2nd because that is the major storyline entering this race. Trey Bardo dominated Watkins Glen for his 2nd win of the season, leading every lap there. He'll start 2nd. The winner of the race earlier in the season, Keegan Thompson, started 2nd in the race. What can Trey Bardo do from 2nd place? How about Luke Brady? Played the strategy just right. Watkins Glen finished inside the top 5. It was looking like he was going to get about 10th place. What can Luke do in track position? 4th place. Looks like that car pretty fast in that number 2 Penske Racing Ford. pace car to pit road. Chris Jericho finished last at Watkins Glen last race. He'll lead us to the green flag in the Pop Secret Microwave 400, and one of the championship contenders to his outside, Trey Barlow. They come down the front straightaway, and the green flag is waving in the air. We're underway from Rockingham. Jericho gets the jump. He's the early leader. Jordan Edwards is second. Sprode to third. Trey Barlow back now and about for fourth with Matthew Burnett to the inside. Jericho leads the first lap. Burnett now to fourth. Eli Bright for fifth. Jose Mills down low 3 wide. Gets by Luke Rainey and Brett Sierra. Trey Barlow in the 3 on the outside. Might get a hold right there because the 7 slipped off turn 2. But Barlow still outside the 8 car down the back. Yeah, Barlow can try to take that chance though in front of his teammate Conrad Evans. Does his teammate let him in line? Maybe he does here, entering turn 1. Barlow got a nice run, might be able to get down in front of his teammate Evans. He will. Barlow gets down in line in 6th place, limiting the damage right there because Keegan Thompson's still on the outside and fading back. To his inside went Mitchell Collins, I believe that's Laura Chung. Nathan Baird also behind him. So Barlow down line 6th is a really, really good good break there for the number 3 Barlow. Battle for 4th. Eli Bright put that DEI number 8 Chevrolet up to the inside of Matthew Burnett. As Eli Bright finished 41st at Watkins Glen, last car on the lead lap. It was a dismal day for sure last race, but Eli Bright now up inside the top 5 with a good starting spot. Eli up to 4th now, chasing the front 3, led by Jericho, Edwards, and Spurley 2. Barlow wants 4th. Look how aggressive he is to the number 8 of Eli Bright. His teammate Evans right behind him just kind of sitting there saying, I'll follow you through. Once you make a move, I'll go with you. I don't think he wants to make a move on the 3 car quite yet. As Anthony Hernandez, another DEI car, goes on Matthew Burnett for 8th place. So those DEI cars look pretty strong so far today. Eli Bright up there inside the top 5, and now Anthony Hernandez trying to follow his way up inside the top 10 to 8th. Jacob Boyd now 9th, and there's the battle back there. You have Roger Ray and Luke Rennie just outside the top 10. Mitchell Collins also there in the number 12 car. Boyd will take 9th from Burnett as the front view gets single file at the front. A little bit 3-wide back there, and it's some smaller teams. You have Nathan Baird, you have Noah Clifton, you have Pez in the 4, Mitch Corbett, and there's Keegan Thompson still on the outside. Jordan Stout started poorly in their session, and Stout already to his inside. How about Kukulan, the 17, set to start second in this race, failed post-qualifying inspection, but Special Kukulan just outside the top 20 in 25th, going for 24th there in Harrison Reed. So right now for Kukulan, really good recovery after failing post-qualifying inspection there, following Strickland, and he's going to get up by Keegan Thompson here in the 5. Oh, look at Nathan Barrett, got the wall there. They're all going to scatter Kukulan down to the apron on the front stretch. Now he has to slow up into 1. That's going to be Keegan Thompson's chance right there to get down in front of the 17, and now Thompson can finally get down, but he's outside the top 20 in the 23rd position. So Keegan Thompson, who's a lot of ground, the winner of this race earlier in the season, got a lot to work for to try and limit the points lost to Trey Barlow. Because Barlow's up there running well at the front. So look at this, there's a mess now. Sproju got put high. Eli Bright goes to 3rd in the 8 car. Evans moves low on Trey. Barlow went high trying to get by the number 8 of Eli Bright. Now Barlow's going to fall behind the 31 and the 7. Possibly get down behind the 7 and pass the 28 right here, but Barlow does lose 2 spots. And now a little bit further back. And maybe not really the spots lost is what Barlow's worried about. Maybe more so the tire wear. You know, he's got to fight to get by these drivers now, and might have to use up more tire than he wants to. Now, actually, Hernandez goes to his inside the 1 car. Yeah, so he could get down low, and now the 1 might be able to get down. And yeah, so now the 3 stuck on the outside. What can he find a way down in line? Evans goes for 3rd on Eli Bright. Next to the pack behind, scatter around. Evans for 3rd. Eli Bright going to slam the door shut. Eli is P3, trying to match a result just a few races ago as his best of the season. Jordan Edwards having a really good run, but staying right behind Jericho for now. The 18 has led every lap so far from pole position. All 10 laps completed. Jericho's led, now making 11 of the 11 laps completed at the start-finish line. Speaking of smaller teams, Jose Mills from Retain Motorsports up into the top 5. Hernandez through to 7th. Boyd now 8th. Barlow back in 9th, but in line. Trey Barlow going to keep 9th. As there we go, battle for 2nd. Edwards slipped up through 1 and 2. Eli Bright takes 2nd away. Evans to 3rd, but how about Eli Bright up to 2nd position? A really, really good run for DI today. If they can keep this race going like this, this is superb runs for both drivers from Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Dale Lightning has been pleased so far. Now Edwards on the outside going to fall back behind Jose Mills, so that single car organization for Mills, he'll get through to fourth. Now Evans might have a shot for second, but will get back in line. Looks like behind Eli Bright. How about Anthony Hernandez moving there? That's for sixth on Riley Spurley-Tube. Bardo under fire for Matthew Burnett. That's 9th and 10th, and just behind them, Brett Seaver was one of the slowest in practice, qualified pretty well, but here he is now, just outside the top 10. As Bardo trying to get low on Spurley-Tube. That would be a pass for 8th right there, and he'll get it done. Evans to second, just too strong for that 31. The 8 could not hold him off, but still Eli Bright shouldn't be able to get in line. No, actually, Mills going to go for third right there. So Jose Mills for P3. Jordan Edwards trying to come back forward. Bardo gets clear of the 28. Now trying to keep the 16 behind him. Sierra back up inside the top 10 just where he started. There's Laura Chung just outside the top 10. Really good run for her. Lathan Strickland started very poorly in this race. I believe it was 39th. Here he is still moving forward. Keegan Thompson on a charge. Won this race earlier in the season, looking for the Rockingham sweep. Here he is now inside the top 20, going now for 15th on Mitchell Collins. Zeidel's teammate started very poorly. He's coming forward. Mathis Wells also started very, very poorly. Wells moving forward, and Kukulat's kind of just stalled in the 23rd position. Bardo making a pass right here. It's on Boyd. It's on Eli Bright. So Bright still fading on the outside. Couldn't find a way down in line. Now struggling in that 8. Oh, he's in the wall hard. Almost collected fellow Missourian Brett Sierra, but Eli Bright impacts the wall hard off turn number 4. And what type of damage is there on the right side of the 8 car? Yeah, that was a not good hit for the lead. First battle all race long. It's Conrad Evans and Chris Jericho. They've had a few battles so far this season. Here they're on lap number 17 going at it. Jericho keeps the third one at bay for now, but Evans is right there up the back bumper. Hernandez now inside the top 5. Bardo back up to 6th. Boyd is now 7th. Battle for 8th. It's Brett Sierra and Matthew Burnett. That's 8th, 9th, and Spurgeon now 10th. Eli Bright back to 11th. The battle for 12th. Strickland is by Laura Chung. Keegan Thompson now top 15. Zeidel trying to come forward. Mathis Wells trying to come forward. Kukulon under fire from teammate Colin Teague back there. So there are some battles all over this racetrack as Spurgeon moves up further inside the top 10. Moving up to 9th as Eli Bright trying to get up further forward as well. Evans still right in the back bumper of Jericho. Meanwhile, the pass for 5th is on. Bardo trying to get by the one of Hernandez. And once again, for the lead, Evans and Jericho go at it. This time, the third one is the preferred lane into turns 3 and 4. And last time, he didn't have the lane to the inside, but this time he does. Evans now leads the Pot Secret Microwave 400 at Rockingham. Boyd also moved to 6th by Anthony Hernandez. Now Hernandez back to 7th, but in line. And we'll now try and long some laps there in line. Mills gaining as the front 2 battle in front. Mills in 3rd, Edwards 4th, now Bardo up to 5th in the 3 car. But now the question is, you know, halfway is around lap 40, so that's still about 20 laps away, but we're halfway. We're basically a quarter of the way done with this race. When do drivers and teams start thinking of pitting? Think back to earlier in the season. Keegan Thompson was the race leader entering pit stops, entering the pit cycles. He was the first of the leaders to hit pit road, and he then thwarted any undercut attempts and actually increased his lead because he did the undercut and won by a few seconds over Keyshawn Richardson. Now, if you're Evans, Jericho, Mills, what do you do? And if you're someone like Edwards, Bardo just outside the top 3, how can you try and keep so that the race leaders don't undercut and keep you back there? Sierra moves to 7th by Anthony Hernandez. Keegan Thompson still in a charge forward as Strickland is just on the back bumper of Burnett now for that 11th spot. Thompson up to 13th and gaining on the front runners as Eli Brent looks good by teammate Anthony Hernandez. The one really struggling at this stage of the race, even though the 8 has damage on the right side, not affecting him that much. I thought he hit that wall pretty hard, but here he's going for 9th on teammate Hernandez, so they're now 9th and 10th as Bardo moves by Jordan Edwards, moving his way up to 4th. So that 3 car looks pretty strong at this point, and Jacob Boyd for the top 5 now for Roy Brothers Racing. Good run for that team as well. I mean, the 2 of the front 5 are single car teams. Jose Mills right now going for 2nd actually on Jericho, and Boyd in 5th. Strickland up inside the top 10. Really good recovery from his dismal qualifying effort as he moved around the 1 and the 16 both. Now Keegan Thompson looks to get by the 1 and the 16. Meanwhile at the front, Evans is gapping the 18 just a little bit lap after lap. Jericho, looks like that car might be struggling at this stage, but we've seen a lot of times this season, the 18 not a good first run car, but it's the second run after the pit stop when they really make the adjustments well and that car comes alive. So we'll see if that's the same thing here today at Rockingham. Bardo really gaining as well in that 3 car. I think he has some serious pace like his teammate Conrad Evans. He's 0.96 back of Evans last time. Let's see what it is this time, completing lap 25. So he gains on the front 2. He lost a 10th, but he did gain on the 2 cars in front. So I think maybe at this point Evans is faster than anyone in the field, but it looks like Bardo faster than the 2 in front as they're going at it for a second still. Mills looking inside Jericho, but doesn't have the legs down the straightaway, doesn't have the engine in that car to make it stick at the end of the straightaway. But I think that car handling better than Jericho's right now. So Jose Mills for Retain Motorsports doing a really good job in that single car number 7. Bardo again gaining on the front 2 as Jacob Boyd also closing on the 3 of Bardo. See Jordan Edwards trying to fend off Brett Sierra. How about Ryan Spirit trying to fend off Strickland, who's had a march through the field. Eli Bright currently holding the final spots at the top 10, and Keegan Thompson just outside the top 10 and 11th, doing some really good damage limitation right now. And I mean, don't count Keegan Thompson out of maybe winning this race if he can play the right strategies. Here's a battle right here. Strickland on Sprutu for 8th. Really, really good recovery for Strickland after qualifying. There he is, P8. Sierra looking low on Edwards. Battle for 6th. Brett Sierra easily takes it to the inside and easily grab that 6th spot away. No contest from Jordan Edwards right there. Oh, he almost got the wall right there. Edwards did a great job keeping it out as Eli Bright moves around to 9th, and there's the battle for 10th. Keegan Thompson can see the top 10 just in front for the first time today. He's on the back bumper, the driver in 10th place. Mills again with the run. But does he have the legs at the end of the straightaway? No, he does not. Let's get back in line now. Trey Bardo and Jacob Boyd are right there. Jericho's done a really good job fending that 7 off, but I think he's definitely the slowest of these 4 cars. Bardo looking low for 3rd, maybe a bump to Mills. Through 1 and 2. Battle for 3rd, Trey Bardo to P3. Now you see 2nd Jericho right in front of him. So struggling 18 as well as Keegan Thompson up to the top 10. I think maybe the aggression right there out of the 3 car, they told him, hey, the 5 is inside the top 10 now. You have to go. As Boyd moves to 4th, Mills back to 5th. And Brett Sierra's gaining as well. Those Hendrick cars looking pretty good in the long run. That's a 2nd between Evans and Jericho as Evans leads this race. Jericho in 2nd, Bardo in 3rd. Boyd is 4th, 5th is Mills. Sierra now in 6th, Edwards is 7th, Strickland up to 8th, Eli Bright 9th, but might not be 9th for too much longer because Keegan Thompson is right there in the 5 car. Keegan has been flying through the field, fell back outside the top 20 at one point, and it's not taking him long. Before pit stops, he's back up bound for 9th now. The highest he's been so far this race. Remember, he started 14th and has only fallen since then. There he goes. As we have a battle for 2nd. Bardo's there on Jericho. These 2 shared the front row at the start. Now they're bound for 2nd and 3rd, and Bardo might not be too patient with the 18. If Jericho keeps mirror driving or holding him up, Bardo might give him a bump. Off into 1 and 2. We're nearing the midway point of this race, which is when pit stops would start. As Eli Bright still fending off Keegan Thompson for now. Bardo looking low on Jericho. As back there at the battle for 7th, Strickland getting by Jordan Edwards. But Bardo gets by Jericho. They'll be 3 wide off the corner. Jericho's in the wall now. Just like Eli Bright did a few laps ago. Now Jericho's in the wall. Bardo to 2nd. The battle for 3rd is Mills and Boyd. Sierra to the top 5. Jericho back to 6th. Really hard impact for the 18 to the wall. Mills moves to 3rd by Boyd. Now it's RCR 1-2. Battle for 9th still raging on. Eli Bright still fending off Thompson for now. This time the 5 has the lane to the inside to 3 and 4. And Thompson moves to 9th. So now Bardo's 2nd, Thompson 9th. And how about this battle? Bardo's now leaving the cars behind. It is 1.65 seconds the gap from Evans back to Trey Bardo, his teammate. Mills in 3rd, Boyd 4th, Sierra 5th, Jericho 6th, but under fire from Strickland. That 33 flying in this race pace. Their qualifying pace, terrible, but here they are, battling now just outside the top 5 for 6th on Jericho. Jordan Edwards fading on the long run, back to 8th. He's getting caught by Keegan Thompson. Eli Bright trying to fend off Riley Spurgeon back here. Burnett, Hernandez, Chung, Zidell, they just kind of keep their positions constant right there. There's Jordan Stout moving nicely through the field. Mathis Wells, those 2 qualified poorly. Here they are. How about Brandon Beal, only his 2nd race back. He's going for the top 20 on Colin T. Jamie Stewart Jr. and Noah Clifton. Brandon Beal having a good run. Jericho got passed by Strickland right there. So now Strickland up to P6. Jericho back to 7th. Battle up here for 3rd. Jacob Boyd to the inside of Jose Mills. That's 2 single car teams going for 3rd and 4th. And Jericho now into the clutches of Edwards and Thompson. You also have to think on pit road. Are these teams going to want to push out those fenders? Maybe take time to do that. As here we are coming around. Oh, Sierra almost got into Mills right there for 4th. Very close call there between those two, but now Sierra low on Mills, and Strickland sees the top 5 just in front of him and is saying, let me go, I'm faster than both of you. And Strickland might be one of the fastest cars on the racetrack besides maybe the 5 of Keegan Thompson. Strickland right there going low on Mills, and that will be the pass for 5th. So move Lathan Strickland up into the top 5. Back there, Thompson to 8th by Jordan Edwards. 7th place, Jericho just in front of him in his sights. As we're nearing the midpoint of the Pop Secret Microwave 400 caution-free so far in this race. We're nearing the midway point, which means we're nearing pit stops in this race. As we have a battle for 7th, Jericho and Thompson go at it. Jericho going to try and keep it in front of Keegan for now and does. So right here, coming around to complete lap number 39 for Conrad Evans all by himself. 2 seconds up on teammate Trey Bardo. And still pulling away by about half a tenth a lap. We are now in pit stop window to make it to the end. If you pit now, you can make it to the end on fuel and tires. Who will be the first to blink and come into the front runners? Thompson moved by Jericho for 7th. Bill still holding in 6th, Strickland in 5th, but right behind Sierra, actually looking low off the corner here. There goes Lathan Strickland looking low for 4th, but doesn't have the run off the corner. No rear grip to make that work. Bardo still losing a 10th at a time to Conrad Evans. So that 31 faster at this point, but did the 3 use up his tires and will he try some sort of undercut here? We're at the point now to where we could see some strategies play out. Evans staying out. You can see how slow they are, though, as they just kind of crawl their way through the 25 degrees of banking in 3 and 4. No one of the front runners pitting yet, as Jericho back to 10th. Even Eli Bright getting by him, so Jericho's now struggling on this long run. Could be the damage. Looks like he maybe hit the wall harder than Eli Bright. Someone really liking this long run. Brandon Beal up to 19th, right behind Collins and Chung and all these others. Beal moving through the field is when do the leaders want to come in? Still Evans staying out. Still Bardo staying out. Who's the first to blink of the front runners? No one yet, so the top 10 is coming in. They're all staying committed right now to their strategy of going a little bit longer in case a yellow comes out. But at some point, someone in the front 10's going to be coming in. Then it'll be a whole pandemic on pit road. Still no one coming in. Everyone in the field still staying out. Does Evans come in this time trying to thwart an undercut attempt? He does not. Does Bardo come in trying to undercut? He does not. Boyd also doesn't come. But it is going to be Brett Sierra, Jose Mills, Jordan Edwards to come in. I like that call for all 3 of these drivers. You gain seconds every lap you come in ahead of people. This is really smart for these drivers. I like this call. Especially out of Brett Sierra. Jose Mills, a single car team, really needs to just get in sooner. Jordan Edwards, Zydel could gain some spots off this along with Burnett and Teague, Corbett and Ray. I like this call, especially a lot of the drivers at the back. Here comes Evanson this time. Bardo will follow along with Boyd, Strickland, and Thompson. So Thompson doesn't want laps led. Stout will stay out along with Math as well. So we have some drivers going longer here. Jordan and Stout now lead this race. So Stout, Wells, Kukulon has stayed out. Mitchell Collins, Jamie Steamer Jr. have stayed out. So far, that's 5 cars I've counted that have stayed out on the racetrack a lap longer than the leaders. And it might be only those 5. So now the question is, where do Sierra and the others that pitted sooner, like Mills, come out in relation to the drivers that pitted just a lap or 2 later? Everyone else comes in. There's Sierra, Mills, Edwards. They come out. These 3 are going to be racing drivers like the 31 and the 3 on pit exit. Sierra crosses the line, a lap newer tires. Here he is. There's the 3. There's the 31. Sierra leaps in front of the 3. The 7 leaps in front of the 3. So does the 97. And the 24 leaps up ahead of teammate Keegan Thompson up inside the top 10. Yeah, so really good call for the coming in sooner. Matthew Burnett also has a run right here into the 5 and on tires that are a little bit warmer. He'll get to the inside easily of Keegan Thompson. Mitchell Collins led that last lap in the 12. Remember, he stayed out. Jericho stayed longer on pit road. He might be a lap down now as cars merge out. We'll have to see when this all cycles out where everyone is. Now it's Evans to the outside, Nathan Baird. Sierra up behind him. This is not going to be the battle for the lead. It's Evans and Sierra. And what a turnaround for Brett Sierra from earlier in the season where he didn't get to complete all the laps. He was on pit road, laps down. I think he finished last in that race. Here he's now bound with Conrad Evans. They have over 2 seconds on Jordan Edwards in 3rd. 4th place is now Jose Mills. 5th is now Bartle. Strickland will be 6th. Zeidel 7th. Jacob Boyd 8th. 9th is Burnett. 10th is Thompson. 11th place is Mitch Corbett. What a good pit cycle that was for him. 12th is Sprotu. 13th is Colin Teague. 14th is now going to be Roger Ray. Hernandez 15th, Brandon Beal, and 16th, a logjam back here. 17th will be Hagita. Stout in the newest tires is right here. And drivers that fell a lap down, look at the list of drivers that have fallen off of the lead lap. Battle for lead has calmed down a little bit. Battle for third or fourth, excuse me, is on. Mills might get caught behind Bibi Ruiz. And Bartle's going to use that car as a pick. Bartle to fourth. So the car's lap down. Yepez, Clifton, Lawrence, Jericho did fall lap down, maybe repairing damage. Bibi Ruiz, Zachary DeLello, Luca Iger, Evan Hunter, Nathan Baird. Eli Bright last car in the lead lap. He, remember, also had damage, so he probably had to repair that damage as well. The lead, about half a second. Evans over Sierra. And a lap car between them, and now Sierra fading off those two cars in front. He lost a lot of time that lap. And Evan Hunter right up behind him. Jordan Edwards might be on worse tires than DeLello to his inside. DeLello lap down. Edwards on the lead lap. Evan Hunter looking to pass Brett Sierra right there. Sierra, remember, on the lead lap. Nathan Baird also looking to pass leader Conrad Evans to get one of his laps back. Yeah, that would put Baird back on the lead lap. That would be interesting to see. And the nearest lap car for Conrad Evans off turn 2. So probably will catch some of these guys by the end of the race. Evan Hunter again looking on Brett Sierra. Just doesn't do it. Back there, the battle for third tightening up as Strickland moves around to 5th. Jose Mills now back to 7th. Might be under fire from Jacob Boyd as Mitch Corbett caught by Keegan Thompson. Corbett to the top 10. Jericho might be driving a little mad in that 18 car because it's another race as of late that has gone downhill. And now Spurgeon looking low on Keegan Thompson. Now Spurgeon by Thompson. So now Keegan back to 12th. The short run of the 5 car has not been there. It's been all about the long run on this 5 car. Good rebound for Zeidel as well, up to 6th. He has not seen the top 10 at all today. Nathan Baird still staying right behind Evans, but if he ever makes a move out on him, that'll definitely hurt the number 31. Number 25 is Sierra trying to just look on as battle for third. Jordan Edwards has it. Trey Bartle wants it. Looking to the inside, down the back straight into turns 3 and 4. Into the 25 degrees of banking right here. Bartle has a run off 4. Car maybe snapped a little bit sideways. Just showing how hard it is to drive even on fresh tires here. Battle for 5th back there. Zeidel moving low on Strickland. Boyd up to 7th by Matthew Burnett. Bartle to 3rd. Strickland holds off Zeidel's challenge for 5th. There's Boyd moving away from Burnett. Burnett's still stuck behind Ruiz. Bill's trying to gain in 9th. Spurgeon now 10th. Thompson 11th. Corbett back to 12th. Colin Teague is now 13th. Now 5th and 6th. Gain on 4th. Edwards. Battle for 5th. Look at that run. Zeidel had so much of a run there. He took it to the inside. This time he's going to be able to complete the pass on Strickland right here. Zeidel to 5th by Lathan Strickland. Good recovery for both those drivers today. So Baird got by Evans. However, at the same time, Evan Hunter got by Sierra. So that didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things unless Hunter goes up there and then starts battling with Conrad Evans and then holds him up. Still about half a second between the front two. Bartle 3.6 back. Back here, Spurgeon got by Mills. Thompson also gets by Mills. And now Mills back behind Corbett and Colin Teague back to 13th, but still a pretty good day for that Matei Motorsports driver. Now Keegan Thompson back up inside the top 10 and sees a spot from him. Riley Spurgeon along with Matthew Burnett. Could be about a 4-way race for 4th here in just a few laps as Jordan Edwards has it. Zeidel, Strickland, and Boyd all want it. Still, Evans pulling away from Sierra just a little bit and definitely gapping his teammate Bardo, who I think is, he's stuck by DeLello in some traffic. Definitely wants to get by that 43 as soon as possible so that the guys behind can't run the 3 car down. So Bardo disposes of DeLello, the lap car. Evan Hunter gaining a little bit on Conrad Evans. I'll be interested to see if he gains enough on him. Does he try and make a pass on him? Both drivers have won multiple races this season, Sierra and Evans. Sierra's won more though. He's won 4 races. Evans has won 2. The Gap between them 0.7 of a second. Stagnant that time. Bardo not gaining as well in the 3 car. Battle for 4th. Zidell moves by Jordan Edwards. Strickland looking for 5th now. Jacob Boyd could look for 6th. Back there, Colin Teague, Image Corvette got sideways and almost collided with each other. Strickland to P5. Jacob Boyd now to 6th for Wood Brothers Racing. We'll get that spot. 0.8 between the front 2 now with 18 laps to go. Now Edwards will have to fall in line in 7th and just try and maintain the spots he has now. We talked about how could this be Ford's day because they had won the last 4 summer races at Rockingham. Well, at the moment, the front 5 positions are Chevrolet teams and drivers. Evans, Sierra, Bardo, Zidell, Strickland. The highest Ford is currently 6th place, Jacob Boyd. Boyd is actually kind of pressuring Strickland a little bit right there. In fact, after you get by all those Chevrolets, you then get to these Fords, Boyd, Edwards, Burnett, and Spurley. So that's 5 Chevys, 4 Fords, and another Chevy. The highest Pontiac, you have to go a good ways back. I believe it's going to be 15th Jack Haas. Yes, but Pontiac has not had a good day. How about Brandon Beal, 16th place? 2nd race back after his injury, but Beal definitely driving like he's never left. That 94 just outside the top 15 and could have a career day just behind Jack Haas in 15th. And Mills is actually fading back to some of these drivers. Mills now right to the back, or right to the front bumper of Jordan Stout. Stout's going to move by right here, so Mills definitely not liking this 2nd run. And Sierra's now over a 2nd back on Conrad Evans. Now fading back into the clutches of Luca Iger. So maybe those older tires now coming into play for the 25 as he's now struggling on this longer run. 14 laps to go for Conrad Evans. It's been a dominant day here at the Rock. Zidell trying to keep touch with Trey Bartle for 3rd. Obviously trying to help his teammate any way he can. Boyd moves to 5th by Strickland, who's back to 6th. Spurtube to 8th by Burnett, who's now under fire from Keegan Thompson. That will be 9th and 10th over the next few laps. It may be the closest battle on the racetrack because Sierra's still losing time to Evans. Bardo not gaining, and Bardo kind of keeping the gap constant to Zidell for now. So 9th and 10th, the closest battle so far on the racetrack. Could also be that battle for 3rd tightening up as Zidell tries to gain on Trey Bardo. Sierra has to let Luca Iger go as now Evans in that traffic. Just got by Walker Davis. Evan Hunter also going to get by Walker Davis. That's for position. That'd be for 34th. So the closest Evan Hunter can stay to Conrad Evans, the better it is for him. Because then he can get by drivers like Logan Williams, Nathan Baird, maybe even Eli Bright. Some others that maybe fade back. Position changes all over this racetrack. Look at this. Some 3 wide right here. Kukulan, Hernandez, and Hagita going at it. Luke Rainey and Mitchell Collins trying to come through the field. Mathis Wells. Brandon Beal still holding steady in front of Laura Chung. Actually just got by Jose Mills. So how about this? Brandon Beal's inside the top 15. Just getting by Jose Mills, who's really struggling on this run with 11 to go. Beal now right behind Jack Haas. But also has Haas's teammate Laura Chung pressuring him. It's a 2nd and a half for the race leaders. Thompson still can't find a way around in that number 16. Meanwhile, the battle for 7th tightening up. Edwards has it. Spurtube wants it. There's Strickland in 6th. Boyd in 5th. Zidell disposing of Zachary DeLello. Trying to gain on that battle for 3rd because it is tightening up a little bit between the 3 and the 24. Edwards get passed by the lap car of Chris Jericho. Only going to hurt the 97 right here as Brian Spurtube closes it in the 28. And Spurtube has a nice run there. Nice launch off turn number 4. That is the battle for 7th, 8th, and then 9th and 10th right behind Burnett High. There goes Keegan Thompson for 9th. So it's looking like if it ends this way, Keegan Thompson will lose points once again to Bardo, but it will be a damage limitation day once again, just like what we saw at Watkins Glen. And they'll go into the final 8 races. Oh, so close together. Evans in more traffic. It's Logan Williams and Eli Bright there are the next 2 to catch. But he has 1.8 seconds back to Brett Sierra, which is what Evans likes to see. Not many cars in his rearview mirror on the lead lap. The only cars he sees behind him are lap cars. As Evan Hunter once again, Evans gets by them, and then Evan Hunter just moves by them for position. Hunter up to 33rd now. Right where he qualified. He did start back in 42nd though, remember. Iger also gaining a spot in Logan Williams. Evans coming back around to 6 laps to go this time by at Rockingham. He's dominated this race. Jericho led the first, I would say, 11, 12 laps. But Evans got by and never looked back. The only time he didn't lead laps after taking the lead was pit cycles. As now Evan Hunter looks to his inside, being Evans' best interest right here to let Evan Hunter go so he doesn't get caught on the outside. Maybe even let Luca Iger go as well because he's been pretty fast. So I think if you're the 31, you're going to let both those cars go, follow behind them. Not want to risk anything right here. 5 laps to go for Conrad Evans. Yellow flag would end this race short. Yeah, I mean, he lost 2 tenths, but that's also because he was on the outside. Now he's back on the inside. He'll be fine. Iger moved by Evan Hunter right there. Now has Eli Bright in his sights. He's back there. Bardo not getting caught by Zidell. Boyd not really getting caught by Strickland. Spurred to move by Jordan Edwards. Burnett moved back by Keegan Thompson. So now Burnett has a shot at teammate Jordan Edwards. It'll be the highest Roush car at the end of this race. 4 laps to go. And Evans is basically on cruise control at this point. He's got back by Evan Hunter. He did lose a few tenths to Sierra over the last few laps, but coming back to 3 to go, he has over a 1.5 second gap to play with. He doesn't have to push that car much. 3 laps to go. Once again, the gap comes down, but he's just far enough ahead to where he has to coast him home with no issues. This is about just in front of the leaders. Currently 32nd, 33rd. Iger looking for 32nd on Eli Bright. Evans still staying in front of Evan Hunter for now. This time by 2 laps to go. Just over 2 miles left at Rockingham. No real battles inside the top 10. The closest right here, 8th and 9th and 10th. It'll come down to the last laps between the 97, the 16, and the 5. Jordan Stout also gaining, but might be too little too late for the 88. He's right on the back bumper of the top 10. Might even have a shot here at the end. Brady Mitchell-Collins, the teammates are coming forward, trying to move inside the top 15. Mitch Corbett trying to stay inside the top 15. Keegan Thompson wide, may lose 10th place to Jordan Stout. Conrad Evans taking the white flag in the 31. Thompson back to 11th as Stout moves to 10th. The white flag is out for Conrad Evans, though, at Rockingham. He lets Evan Hunter go down the back straight for the final time. Another dominant day for Conrad Evans will find victory lane once again this season. RCR 2 straight. Conrad Evans wins the Pop Secret Microwave 400 at Rockingham. Sierra ends up in 2nd. Bardo closes on the points with the 3rd. Zidell 4th. Boyd will get 5th. Strickland in 6th. Burtu 7th. Edwards gets 8th. How about the run for Jordan Stout? He got 9th at the end. Matthew Burnett finishes out the top 10. Thompson 11th. And the points battle between Bardo and Thompson closes, heading into the final 8 races of the season. That's going to be fun to watch. Conrad Evans wins this one at Rockingham. Another win in his Winston Cup Series career, showing that RCR is a force to be reckoned with towards the end of this season. How strong will they be in the final 8? Let's go take a look at the finishing results here from Rockingham. Conrad Evans, the dominant win once again in the 31. He reigns supreme over Brett Sierra in 2nd. Trey Bardo ends up in 3rd today, closing in once again on the points lead. Zidell ends up in 4th, and Jacob Boyd, a really good run, top 5 there for Wood Brothers Racing. Lathan Strickland, a good run from where he started, ends up in 6th. Riley Spurgeon in 7th. Jordan Edwards, another top 10, 2 straight for him. Jordan Stout gets a top 10 right at the end, passing Burnett and Keegan Thompson in the last few laps. Burnett, the final car to finish top 10. Keegan Thompson ends up in 11th, so loses points to Trey Bardo. Still could have been worse, though, for the driver of the 5. Colin Teague ends up in 12th. Mitch Corbett, really good run in 13th. Jack Haas and Laura Chung, 14th and 15th. Other teammates, Luke Brady Mitchell-Collins, 16th, 17th. Brandon Bill, really good run, 18th. Kukulon from failing inspection started 41st, gets 19th. And Mathis Well started outside the top 30, 20th place for the driver of the 20. Higuita Anthony, 21st, 22nd. DEI's day really faded there in that second run. Same with Jose Mills, who was running up inside the top 10, time 5 all race long, but 27th there at the end for the driver of the 7. Almost fell a lap down. In fact, we only had 34 cars finish on the lead lap. Eli Bright, the last of them. Evan Hunter passed him late. Cars that finished the lap down: Logan Williams, Walker Davis, Chris Jericho, Zachary Olello, Noah Clifton, Nolan Lawrence, Bibi Ruiz, and the number 4 of Diego Yepes. Those cars finished 1 lap down here today at the Rockingham Speedway. Another crazy race here at Rockingham sees Conrad Evans claim victory for RCR once again, back-to-back with Barta winning last race. Evans now winning this one here at Rockingham. And we only have 8 races left to crown a champion. Tune in next race, because we're going to be seeing some short track craziness as we go racing under the lights at the Bristol Motor Speedway for the Food City 500. That is always a must-watch race on JRTV. It will be once again next week, Saturday night short track racing at Bristol. How much better can it get as we near the conclusion of this season? Congratulations once again to Conrad Evans and the Third One team on winning here at Rockingham. Tune in next week at Bristol for the Food City 500. We'll see you guys then.